this. Hello there, and welcome to Jibber. It's meant to say Nagano, but for some reason it says Jibber. It's his Pathfinders. He's the United States Forces. This is Crossroads version 3 for Company of Heroes 3. And I, of course, am AE. He's up against, in the north, the Master League Tournament 3 champion for CoH3. It is indeed the mightiest of Dutch people. It's Jibber Jabber Jobber. And he's not just building infantry today, he's also got this beautiful Kettenkrad recon vehicle. Very loud engine for such a little half-track, isn't it? Well, half-track motorbike? Is it half-track? Half-bike? I really don't know what the wheel does, though, because if all the traction's coming from the tracks and it's got like a teller system. But I suppose what it does is the front wheel's connected to the tellers that operate the tracks. So if you don't know what tellers are, they basically kind of shift the power from one track to the other, and that's how a tank drives. But here, what I assume is happening is maybe the front wheel's just for show, because how on earth can that add to the traction and the steering when all the weight, the centre of mass is in the centre, and it's got huge tracks? No, Forza Horizon and Vector, that's not how steering on a tracked vehicle works. Like, there's no way that could possibly, surely, do enough steering for the weight of this vehicle. If anybody is a Kettenkrad in chat and wants to come and explain to me how you work, please write to me at AECO PO Box London, and I will read your message. Thank you. Anyway, back to this actual game that is actually happening in front of our actual eyes. It's a 2 Pathfinder start for the mightiest of reigning Master League World Champions, having beaten Isildur finally in May of 2022. Great series in Company of Heroes 2. The 5th game on Mill Road was phenomenal. If you've not seen it, go to my YouTube. Stop watching this. Stop watching right now, you vile, dastardly hound. Go and watch that game instead. It's far better. Okay, rifles are going to bully this grenadier away. And Jibber knows his place. First casualty of the game has yet to happen. We do have a kill count in the top of your screen. Well, there's one death, that's for certain. This Pathfinder came onto the field with 3 men, now only has 1. Probity! I think that was my narrative. I'm not so sure Isildur did throw that hard. I think Nagano just did wonders with that Zisgun, if I remember correctly, Probity. There was a little bit of complacency, but I've since spoken to Isildur about it. And he claims he didn't take his foot off the gas that much. It was just a little bit like he'd got everything he needed and he thought he could win the game. He wasn't playing complacently, in his words. So that game 5 is not sullied. Nagano had a very rightful and arguably miraculous victory in difficult circumstances. Righty-ho then, so Jibber's going to go for infantry company training. Or officer quarters, as it's sometimes called, apparently. Just gives them all veterancy 1. Meanwhile, Nagano has, of course, gone for Pathfinders of Airborne. Jibber has gone for Breakthrough. So Airborne versus Breakthrough. Yet again. Can't wait for this balance patch in July. Not only is it going to have massive pathfinding improvements, a night map for 4v4, which I actually think looks good. I would actually play it, but then I'd also have to play 4v4. Maybe I'll try and play it on a 1v1 custom game or something. But yeah, it's got that, and it's going to have a crap ton of balance changes. They've been storing them up for 2 months now, and I know they watch the Master League. They may even be watching this video, so they know what they need to do. But I don't think they need to change AT guns that much. I know AT guns are OP right now, but with these light tanks and the pathfinding changes, maybe they can just naturally and organically see what evolves. Just an idea. Kettenkrad's taken a licking, as the Americans used to say, meaning beating.
One of our strategic points is under attack.
I've literally read novels like Huckleberry Finn and stuff like that, and they literally say, I'm going to lick you. I'm going to give you a licking. Oh, there we go. Kettenkrad down thanks to this rifleman squad with a vehicle destroyed to his name. He gave that Ketten a good licking, didn't he?
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
And on the same theme, as I've just been talking about, the US announcer in this game should definitely say that phrase. It would be very much in character. Captain's retinue just have one kill. We've got the motor pool coming out next for Nagano. Maybe we'll finally see an M8 in ML play. That'd be nice. Haven't seen one yet this tournament. I mean, it's got to be an M8, surely.
Sector gone. We must take it back.
You can hear the MG getting some work done there, forcing away this rifle. Meanwhile, another rifle squad's pushing around the sides. Motor pool is down. So that must mean Nagano is forgoing Browning automatics. And it would indicate that's what he's doing. His fuel count's currently at 31.
Supplies are cut off. We have holes in our front line.
Close that makes him.
Defend our victory point.
So he needs 40 to get the M8 out. He's got 3 income per minute right now thanks to this Grenadier. So that's not good, is it? But yeah, it is possible. He dodges a rifle nade from this Pathfinder squad, which was not that easy considering the tree was somewhat obscuring him, but only somewhat. Many men down there, not just man down. I'd say men down, to be honest. Are we going for another rifleman squad there? There's going to be 4. With no bars. And the fuel's about to hit 40. Not sure about that. Yep, he's got 38, 40. The M8 timing should have been now. He's cancelled it. He's cancelled it. I might be genius. He's just reinforced these dudes, however, so that's cost him some. Yeah, he just cancelled. Oh, no, he didn't. There it is, the new squad. My bad. Yeah, the M8's timing is not great. He's at 50 fuel now. What is he thinking there? Rifleman pushing out. Jibber is a lot more aggressive than Nagano was in game 1, isn't he? He's able to finally the ground. Ah, he thought about it for a second. And then he cancelled it. What's the point of going motor pool if you're not going to rush a ground like Chaffee? But he wants to get the field infirmary down. Nagano's basically caught in several mines here, and I don't like it. Not the most efficient of play. He's not managed his fuel economy precisely. And his timing is just not natural at the moment. Hesitancy is the last virtue of the scoundrel. Somebody come up with a good phrase for me, please, guys. What is hesitancy? I did hear a good phrase earlier today, actually. The dildo of consequences rarely comes lubed. I'll try and work that into a cast one day.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
That's a good one, Alpin. Good work there on that one. Jibber. I'm not sure about that, Zany.
They've captured a victory point.
Jibber's job is to jab. And he's all out of jobbering time. No? Maybe. I don't know. We've got the Jaegers in anticipation of not having bars. So he thinks... Ah! It was a ruse by Nagano. He's gone for bars now and munition surplus. So he tempted him in with the old motor pool switcherunio. The guy's a beast. He's like the Garry Kasparov or Kaparov or one of those Russian chess players, basically. It was a bait. And he is the master of said bait. Now we've got a useless Shrek squad. Nagano, you utter genius. I love it. It would be even better if this motor pool got scouted at one point. I do remember there were some squads here, but I'm not sure if it was built. Can someone remind me? Let's pretend it was scouted, because that would make him a 7-head player. Just like I'm a 5-head caster on account of my receding hairline. Captain falls off.
A victory point is under enemy control now.
Shrek whistling aimlessly around. I miss when Shreks could snipe units. I was the only person in the community that liked that, apparently. Maybe I'm just weird. Mortar next, so Nagano basically doing meta, just takes him a while to get there. He's now got munition surplus unlocked. And faction ultimate points, it says there, apparently. What's Jibber got? Nothing alarming. He's got a lot of command points yet left to use by the looks of things. He's putting a lot of pressure down there. Look at this tacticular map usage. If all the icons begin to overlap too severely, we can just about make out what's going on. There's a red blob of icons there. An engagement over here. Pathfinders and Captain versus Vet 2 Grens. And there's 2 units moving in unison here. They spread out and force away the MG, just about.
Crowds are taking it personally.
One of our munitions points is being neutralized.
Sprinting Grens. Probably not going to survive this engagement, one would imagine. We're going to have to run away with their tails between their legs. Ow! Nearly missed that, but I thought the mortar could have got a wipe there. It looked likely. My retina just about sent some optical signals to my hypothalamus, and I kind of figured it out, but it was a fraction too late. Nice grenade dodge there. I mean, that was just literally running as the animation. I think if Jibber was fast enough, he could have cancelled the animation. What do you reckon, guys? Probably not with server delay, eh? But Nagano kind of ran as soon as the animation started. Maybe if it was like fighting games levels of latency. Imagine that, guys. Coming here is with no delay whatsoever. And you could have like wind up and dodging, and it was like literally like Street Fighter 6 levels of latency. It'd be so cool, wouldn't it? Wehrmacht mortar's doing a number.
You have command points ready to spend.
There was a Kettenkrad at the start of this game. It's just dead property. I mean, what can we do? I could find you the dead body of the Kettenkrad if that helps you.
We're cleared for rocket strikes in our sector.
And the Panzer Grenadier company for Wehrmacht is just too good right now because it leads to the Stug and etc. But in this case, we did have the Jaegers, didn't we? So I suppose we could have seen a 2-2-1 theoretically. Yeah, 2-2-1's not that good. I really think the mortars are quite powerful in this version of the game.
They've taken our victory point.
Jaegers and MP40s. They do everything except fight infantry in normal situations.
Contact. Capture point is being overrun.
Mortar round on retreat there. Nearly finishes the job with the... I think the Jaegers at max range. Oh, we've got a floating Panzer Shrek. Let's see what happens when they get inside the building. Does it cease to float? I'm very curious about that. Can't quite see. Dodgy camera work there. Pathfinders have 4 kills and 7 casualties. So not trading that well. Grens, meanwhile, 6 and 3 over here. 16 and 8 for that Grenadier. It's a 2 KD. Not too shabby. This Vet 3 one's on 17 and 15. He's seen some shit. Jaegers, I don't think they will have done that well. I can't quite see them right now. Meanwhile, look at the Rifleman KD. 2 and 6. We've got a 6 and 5 over here. And an 8 and 13 over there. I just think... Now, this is controversial. Jibber is better at coming here as 3 than Nagano is at the moment. Because the KD is kind of reversed now. They've swapped positions on the same map. And opposing factions, they've swapped positions, so... Ouch. This is a closer game, though, this time. No grenades to speak of at this point. All mortar delay fuses away the MG, which is a brand new verb I've just invented. Mom, he keeps delay fusing me.
Boys, we'll have grenades soon.
We've got grenades tacking. How fast that could be. Let's go and select this so we can see the indicator. There it is. The indicator's now on screen. And Pathfinders will never be on screen again because they're very, 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 very dead.
Pathfinders, KIA. We can distribute grenades to
Right,
the front
grenades
line,
are ready, but there's no engagements going on anymore. But that doesn't matter because Jibber doesn't know they're ready, so he's got ample time to launch an assault.
Enemy activity near
May
our
just
ignition
decide to
point.
grenade. Ah, the mortar's moving. Did Jibber see that?
Jump to it, boys.
Did he see the semblances of the start of a possible wind-up animation? Because I think it flickered for a moment, so... I don't know. Maybe my eyes deceived me.
We have the lead.
Ooh.
Ready up.
That's a bingo. Tank depots constructing for the Nagano. Meanwhile, back in base, do we have Panzer Company? Yes, we do. We also have a Panzer Fear on its way. So Nagano's going to be a little bit AT-less and T-less, whilst Jibber has a T all over the place. Not the best. He can, however, bring down an AT gun, and he has 420 manpower and counting. So I think bringing down the AT gun is going to be the call for him.
Tracking them on 300 points.
Well, don't go to reddit.com/combat footage, Probity, because you could see a little bit of that in real life, and it's not pretty.
Rifles losing integrity.
Few disclaimers for websites you should definitely not visit if you want to sleep properly. Oh, Panzer IV's out. Its first shot was a good one. 2 infantry kills already. Could even follow up and kill the rifleman here. He's got to get out there. You got to vault faster. Okie dokie. What else have we got to see?
We're all ears, sir.
Defend our victory point. We're losing
He
it.
could actually fire through. No, he couldn't because this is in the way. Oh, he could. Ah, forces them off. Finally getting base healing there. That's because he's had Vet 1 on the infantry for so long, but
We've dropped the
doesn't
enemy
heal
to
as fast as
250
actual
points.
healing, so you might as well get actual healing eventually. Hellcat's on its way. And are these auto-constructed base sectors? That is lazy from Nagano.
They've
But I
captured a
suppose, I
victory
mean,
point.
the barracks is relatively close to the base exit, so it doesn't really matter. Meanwhile, you can see that Chad Jibber spaces his buildings out optimally and manually. Because he is a Chad. And of course, Master League Series 3 champion for Tournament 3.
Hellcat has been completed.
I mean, the numerical convention of the Master League tournaments kind of doesn't show off how many there've been. This was the 14th. No, wait. The 14th Master League tournament, which is, I think, is pretty cool. Not counting like 2v2s and Patron tournaments and that kind of stuff.
Converging on a fuel point.
And also the Master League kickoff event, which was the Corona Cup. So I suppose it's like the 15th. Oh, the garrison there shouldered some of the burden of the strafe, but it couldn't stop the sticky bomb. Meanwhile, the Hellcat can't keep up the heat anymore. It's been forced away thanks to the Shrek of the Jaegers, who can finish the job on the Panzer IV. It's got a damaged engine. Hellcat gets the kill, but the Shrek gets the kill on the Hellcat itself. So both tanks going down there. Nice passage of play with a lot of fireworks for all. And it was a fair and equal trade. Jaegers also get away. But no, it wasn't. Because the MG's bit in the dust and the rifles are there to pick it up. Wrecking Havoc said it was a good trade for Nicko. Well, I suppose the Hellcat is cheaper, of course, than the Panzer IV, costing only 70 fuel. They don't know that you don't know the fuel costs, AE. Don't worry. I know. I know, inner AE. It's fine. Yep, USF does seem ahead now. Nagano does have a pretty substantial lead, to be honest. Looks like we're heading to a deciding ace game at this rate. He's a 319 victory point lead to 185 for Jibber Jabba Jobber. So, yeah. Looking good for the Ruski.
Victory point is under enemy control now.
Grenz lurching into action to force away that dastardly mortar. Meanwhile, a lot of low health rifles here. He's got to be careful. I would just close the distance if I was Jibber. Maybe I'm a moron. I would have done it. No, I wouldn't. I've changed my mind. There we go. Rifles forced off. Hellcat rebuilt. What is Jibber up to? Nothing in space, it seems. Let's check out his command point usage. Not much, to be honest. Not much.
Commander, enemy movement near a victory
Pathfinder's
point.
forced away. Rifle's still all on the field.
We have territory isolated.
Fuel count for Jibber is only 88, so he can't build a Panzer IV yet, needing 90.
Sector gone. We must take. A victory point is under attack. We must act.
Oh dear. MG's Vet 2, he doesn't want it. Vet 3, really doesn't want. Oh, he merges into it. That's a sick merge, bro. Allowing the Vet 3 MG to escape. Selfless work by the workhorse of the Wehrmacht army, the humble CoH3 Grenadier. Respect. No, Ferozika. Nobody played DAC. I have rumours that somebody played a DAC versus Brits game in the lower brackets, but literally no one in the upper brackets, so we're very much waiting for the next balance patch, which, with its massive pathing changes, I predict will really help the Deutsche Afrika Corps, because they rely on that light tank spam and half-track spam, etc. So there is a distinct possibility we'll see a resurgence, but I may be wishfully thinking there. Right then, Panzer IV on its way yet again for Jibber.
Commander, we've lost the sector.
We have no Vet 3 riflemen yet, but soon we will, and they are pretty bloody fearsome.
Location captured. We're ready. Rifles losing integrity.
Grenz pushing back onto the field.
Engineers on the field.
Mortar looking to do the same. Panzer IV very close to completion. In fact, it's there. It's there. Oh. We also have to have some engineers now. Might as well, considering the Hellcat's going to need to be repaired at some point. Right, Grenz needs to think about a flank at the moment. So they're gonna. They got this one pinned at the moment, or suppressed rather. That's a meaty shot by the Panzer IV. That should be enough, but have. Oh, and there's the delayed fuse as well. Cancel everything for Jibber, except the Panzer IV blapping units. Just keep that up. Meanwhile, Nagano has a massive swathe of blue territory now. He's really controlled a lot of it, and soon the Pathfinder here will push on the fuel, no doubt. Or is he just looking to close things out? Right, Engineer's going to keep repairing the Hellcat in the heat of battle. We've got a lot of commander points set up, but he's got everything he needs as Nagano. We're all 24 minutes into battle. Wow, Jibber's down to 75 points and dropping. Hellcat's gone way too far forward there. What's Nagano thinking? Oh dear, oh dear. He went into battle knowing that Jibber had a Panzerschreck Jaeger. Oh, I'm not sure about that at all. Oh, this is a Vet 3 rifle. Needs to keep that alive. He's gone stationary. Ah, and he misses, hits the mortar instead. We've had a reports of a deletion of an MG by the mortar. Well spotted by Havoc there. P-47's dip in and hit nothing. So yeah, Jibber has killed a Hellcat for 70 fuel, but lost an MG. So fair enough. I think trade-wise they're all even, but what is not even is the victory point situation. Which is anything but right now. There's that mortar needs to help out because of the low health squad. And the bloody Panzer IV helping out, killing the captain. Oh dear, oh dear. It's a freighted moonscape out there. Nagano keeping up the victory point pressure. He needs to. He could actually bleed his opponent out here if he was faster on that third victory point there. Third Hellcat of its name. Hopefully not going to suicide this bush. Not too sure about the old suiciding Hellcat strategy when you've only got one of them.
Enemy movement near victory point.
Alright then, Pathfinder's probably going to want to stay on the victory point there. If they hadn't listened to me and gone for this fuel, they could have just kept the victory point regardless. Oh wait, we're getting killed. Oh, they literally are getting killed.
Pathfinder's missing.
Second Pathfinder squad now down. Meanwhile, grenades. Nagano needs to dodge that. And dodge it he did. That's why it's so bleak having a Hellcat. They don't perform that omnipotent, ambidextrous duty of the Panzer IV. They are resigned to a tight AoE profile only meant to damage tanks. This infantry's really coming in clutch. We do have one Vet 3 squad with does actually have positive KD and it will continue to climb. Yeah, this is very much a slog of a battle, isn't it? Just marching towards the central victory point over and over again. The only difference between CoH3 and CoH2 at this point is they march directly at each other through the centre. Whereas with CoH2 it was more, they march over here, then march towards the centre. Crossroads. Crossroads never changes.
We must pull this back. We're down to 300 points. A fuel point is being lost.
Right, the MP40 should win this. They dodge the grenade, push those MP40s into the riflemen's faces and force them off. Meanwhile, in the centre, this Panzer IV has 13 kills now. That's very killy.
A victory point is under attack. We must act. One of our sectors.
He's going to get his own Netflix serial soon if he carries on this kind of killing spree.
They've captured a victory point.
I used to live next door to the Panzer IV for about 7 years, and I could say he was kind of a nice guy. Oh, interesting episode 1 there of the Panzer IV Next Door, the serial killer documentary on Netflix coming soon. Like chat to confirm if I'm funny or not. I think I'm funny, but I might not be. One of those
We're
things.
losing a strategic point.
Wowzer, this they're pouring it on him, but I'm not sure how much they can pour it on because there's two Vet 3 MP40 squads coming straight at them. And
Check the line.
it
Capture
actually
point under
worked.
attack.
They got some suppression off there. Well, here come the grenades. Gives a bit of health damage, jumps straight back behind the heavy cover. But looks like they win.
All right, man.
Wow!
Pushing us back. We're down to 250.
And we now have 2 Hellcats. That was an interesting battle, wasn't it?
Keep your distance. Fight.
Grenade now forced away. Took a lot, didn't it? It was like the night, the Black Knight for a moment there. I'll bite your legs off. Mort has 21 kills. Not even Veterancy 3 yet, though. Oh, riflemen are entering the lion's den. They're not going to want to push. Surely, Nagano. Surely you know not to push right now. Well, now he does. Hellcats. I mean, other than just suiciding the Panzerport, I don't know what they could add to the battle. One of the reasons it's sometimes better to go armour support centre, get the 76mm Shermans, or of course just go for armoured battle group and go for the Easy 8s. Because in this predicament, you haven't got both Shermans and Hellcats. Unless you mix them and match them. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Well, Nagano certainly is, and he's going to go in right now. He's going to catch the side armour of the Panzer IV, importantly. 2 side hits in. But he is up against, again, that Vet 3 Panzerschreck Jaeger squad. Ouch. Vet 3 rifles lucky to escape there just off camera, incurring some heavy damage to the MP40 Vet 3 Grenadiers. Jibber, surely, don't call him Shirley. His name's Jibber, but is he going to get the Tiger out possibly? He's got loads of command points in the bag, I think.
Enemy forces are converging on a fuel point.
Yeah, Alpern's called it in chat. I think he's meant to have more than this. He's lost his captain and 2 Pathfinders. And the Hellcats, but he just doesn't have enough infantry. That's... Yeah, I mean, it's 3 Vet 3 rifle squads, don't get me wrong. But they're entering the lion's den every single time, and with this garrison here, he's just staying behind it and waiting. And, of course, we can't re-enable the Fog of War, but... Yeah, this is an ambush waiting to happen. The Jaegers are there to ambush the Hellcats if they come around this bush, and the MP40 Grenadiers there to shred the rifles up close. It's just good map play by Jibber. It's a solid strategic outthinking of Nagano, who has had some good ideas this game. Notably the motor pool bait and switch, which was pretty interesting. But yeah, he's got his opponent down to 45 victory points, and I don't see how he gets further than that. I mean, does he have enough for the P47? Can't actually see it. There we go. Yes, he has enough. So he has that in the bag. But he needs to do a Dev M here. He needs to wait for all of his units to be together and attack as one. And this is the closest he's going to get. Vet 1, Vet 3 rifles forced off. Here come the Hellcats. Where are those P47s? I don't know, but we are surely going to get them here. Let's get a good old thumbnail for the boys as one Hellcat goes down. Come on, P47. What is that? That's rubbish. That was nowhere near him. We got a thumbnail, but I tell you what, we haven't got any Hellcats left because they're all dead. He's been able to force away one of the Pioneers. And we do have some glorious capping in the north and in the south. Maybe, just maybe, Nagano's created enough of a distraction to get the mega cap here. And maybe the dream is alive. The delayed fuses are delayed fusing all over this MG's face. Getting rid of it yet again. The delayed fuse could kill the weapon here. Of course they do. And meanwhile, we've got a cap there. We've got a cap there. We don't have a cap in the centre, but the bleed is back on. Could get rid of this MG. These generalist medium tanks. It's a good job they don't have Crush yet. Oh dear, that rifle's a dead rifle. Oh no. He's throwing it. He's doing an orange pest, everybody. Look away. Hide your orange pests. We're getting another orange pest recreation. Historically authentic orange pest recreation of how to throw everybody on a victory point. And not win. Oh, I can't believe Nagano decided to orange pest all over the place. Alpern, get your orange pest clearing materials from when he came over to your flat and got drunk that time. Alpern's a master of cleaning up orange pest messes. And GG has been called. Well, at least I got a YouTube replay for the boys. for the weekend, eh? At least I got that. It's 21:48. I'm just going to create some fluff content for YouTube now. And yeah. Good games to have by all. We had a nice time. And yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Mistakes were made. I think Nagano has to improve if he wants to be a contender again. I'm just going to call it. I know we just watched him lose, so we have a little bit of bias against him. But I did also watch the Orange Pest versus Nagano replays as well, and I just think he's got a way to go, to be honest. Let's go check out the season brackets and just reinforce what I'm saying here. I mean, ML4, how's he done in that exactly? He beat Pravity. No offense, Pravity. Kawasaki lost to... Then he beat Kawasaki, which is a pretty decent win, to be fair. He took a game off Orange Pest, but they were kind of... the replays weren't long. So he's gotten better, definitely. He's got a bit of a stretch to go. And I know he's like, what seed is he now? De facto 5th seed, let's say. Because, unfortunately, we have to remove Ray's from the standings, because Ray isn't going to play. It's off those I ones, is it? So we'll just give him a 0. Honorary Mr. Ray there. How am I best to do this? I'll just delete him that way. There we go. But then that doesn't update the MLR. Yeah, give him a 0. It doesn't look right. I know he's not playing, so I want to represent that somehow. But yeah, he's not playing. So I've moved him out. And there you have real possible seeds. So, I mean, let's analyse who we think's going to win. You'd have to say Jibber looks favourite right now. I'd say Jibber's the favourite. He's got the tournament-approved gameplay style, but he has to improve his throw ability. If I remember correctly, he had a classic Jibber throw this tournament against Ferrigy. Yeah, he did. And he just has to stop, doesn't he? You finished, Lynn? I thought I heard a noise. So yeah, he's got to stop throwing psychologically. He's just got to write a note to himself not to do weird build orders in tense situations. How did that last game go again? Let me just remind myself. My videos. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Well, he threw tactically this game. He threw tactically. This is the exact moment he threw tactically. Let's just remind ourselves what he did. He just stayed in with the Stug too long, trying to... It was a bit of bad RNG, but it was the delay on it. Like, he should have started shooting it now. He didn't have Vet 1, so there's no excuse. That delay, I think, cost him. See, there's a good portion of time there he could have been deleting this. He's still targeting the rifles now, I think. Or was that a miss? Now he's targeting it. So, that was what cost him. He shouldn't have done that. So, yeah, the MG, that's the moment it gets destroyed. So, 12:29. First shot could have been now, let's say. So, that's 12:32. When does he start shooting? Now. So that's 10 seconds he could have been destroying the AT gun. So he claims it was a bad RNG roll after this, but I would like to say no. It was tactical complacency, I suppose, and just a bad tactical decision, followed by another. If he shot the AT gun, Ferrigy would recrew. Okay, so let me see what you mean. Maybe I need to have developed my understanding. Because that's my take of it when I first watched it. So, yeah, fair enough. Let's see. Okay. Ah, I see. Yeah. I know what you mean now. So he has to kind of distract the rifles. Oh, shit. I see what you mean, Alpern. Yeah, that makes sense now. So that's why he couldn't fire on it, because he was worried. Yeah, then he starts firing on it. He's got the AT gun. So he... Oh, and he also wants to wombo combo it before the... Oh, there's layers to this shit. This is fascinating. It's rare I get to actually have a proper feel for these fucking cat and mouse dynamics. Because I don't play the game enough anymore, unfortunately. To any degree of standard. To be honest, this is pretty fucking advanced level stuff anyway. So he wants to get the AT gun in combination with the Stug so he can delete the pack fast enough so the rifles don't have a chance to crew it. And they're holding off on crewing it. Oh! Wow! I'll listen to Alpern for once. There we go. So, this is the bad orangey now, though. Misses there. Hits there. And the mortar smokes it out, causing this to stall on hitting it again. Then he recrews it. Then, oh, okay, so it's not as bad as I thought. Fuck. Then he pushes in with the Grens. Then they go around the bush that I put there to literally help North player, so I'm just glad to see that bush is working. Because it used to be just a blank tree, if you remember, in the original CoH3 Feynman. Then they get suppressed by the MG, which I thought me and K-Pen were pegging back now, by the way. So I think that needs putting back. I thought we did that, K-Pen, if you ever watched this. Oh, I see. Then he fucking fails to recruit. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of get it now. Sorry for doubting you, Jibber. It was far less throwy than I originally said it was. I take it back. But you have to really inspect it and understand that cat and mouse dynamic that was going on, basically. So maybe Fergie just played really fucking well again, and maybe we just want to keep saying these people are throwing, but it's possible he's just pretty fucking good at the game. It's very possible. Fair enough. So the moment I thought that Jibber had thrown wasn't actually a throw, it kind of made logical sense. So we need to stop like dissing Fergie by saying everyone's throwing every time he wins a game. Because I did see something in him when he played a King of the Hill last year, and he managed to beat like 4 or 5 Master League ranked players in a row. They weren't like the best of the best, but they were like decent Master League players. He just fucking churned them. Alpern, Orange Pest says I can't trust Alpern. So if you say I can't trust Orange Pest, who can I trust? I need like a memento style tattoo that says do not trust this man. Everyone has their takes. Everyone has shit takes. No one's takes are always good takes, and no one's takes are always shit takes. Except Amer, his takes are always shit takes. But yeah, Orange is on a villain arc right now. Alpern, I'm not doing this with you. You know you and I always think each other's opinions are shit. So, I can't... Maybe I can side with Alpern now, because Orange Pest is the true villain of this arc. So I think Alpern is a chaotic neutral. Yes, it is time to side with Alpern. The forces of good must persevere against against Orange Pest. Dexon is definitely chaotic evil, I think. I don't think he's lawful evil, he's just chaotic evil. Yeah, you're the Jar Jar at the fucking Senate as Orange Pest rises up and consumes full control. Oh, man. And I didn't do my hair today. I woke up at 8:30. Do you know what time I have to be in work? 8:30. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great start to the day. Yeah, Talisman's just a wall. He's the actual backdrop for the entire Noughts and Crosses character profile thing. It's just his face. He's the entire structure it sits on. Talisman is unstoppable. we are very thankful he no longer plays because he would win every tournament. But anyway, let's go back to looking at the brackets because I find it interesting because we've got a big-ass cash tournament coming up. I'm going to say that my actual favourite is currently Jibber, then Ferrigy, then Orange Pest. And the reason I say it in that order is because Orange Pest is going travelling in America and I don't think he'll be practising. When and if, let's hopefully say the prize pool gets increased even more, it's already $3,000, but let's say it has the possibility of increasing even more. I think people are going to practice pretty heavily. So, yeah. I think... And you know, Alpern has the chaos element. Alpern is a non-standard cookie-cutter player. He's not exactly a Von Ivan of the world, but he has his own distinct brand of Company of Heroes play that is kind of like a less messy, more infantry preservant Von Ivan style, I would say. He's like a thinking man's Von Ivan. You're not underestimated, Alpern. It's the same as, like... Let me explain. You've got these basic bitch macro players that use tac map and do the fundamentals as the great aim strong, then love nest, then Isildur lineage dictates, right? You've got the kind of quote-unquote co-players. It goes aim strong, then love nest, then Isildur. The best macro-micro combos that should, in theory, win every best of 5 ever. But then you've got the chaos elements like Devem, the ultimate micro kid of the game, the best raw mechanical player of all time. Then you've got Kimbo, you've got Von Ivan, and you are in their mold. You do not play with tac map. You rely on kind of some rush vehicle tactics, I want to call it, but you're not that coarse. You have more finesse in some elements because you do actually have decent infantry mechanics and a pretty robust understanding of the tactical systems needed to pull off good infantry play, like the Von Astons of the world and stuff. But you definitely rely on the memes, like the strategies, let's say, not the memes, we'll call them strategies. You rely on a good strat and a killer feel for the correct strat employed at the correct time. And yours actually tend to work, unlike Jibber's. Jibbers don't tend to work. Jibber, however, is very, very, very good tactically. I will say that Jibber employs some really clever tactics that require a lot of analysis to fully... Like I think very highly of his Command Panther play we saw in the ML5 tournament for Series 2. So, I wouldn't say he has no balls. I think he has big balls. He probably has more than 2 balls. But yeah, you have balls, Alpern. We can't take that away from you. But you've all, like me, by the way, I'm the most arrogant person in the community, so if I call you arrogant, don't worry. You're not arrogant, nothing like me. But you have a certain brand of arrogance that means you don't want to improve in the cookie-cutter tournament methodology of improvements. You have your Alpern way of playing, which is the command group usage carries you hard. Like an Alpern without... I think CoH3 tried to nerf Alpern, basically, when they tried to fuck up the command groups, but they couldn't quite nerf you completely. But your command group usage is probably the best, I would say, in the competitive co-sphere. I've not seen anyone employ them quite like... Oh, well, you say it's still scuffed. Imagine if they weren't, you'd be number 1 or 2 seed right now. Because I've always admired your command group usage, and I think it's probably the strongest aspect of your mechanical play, I'd want to say. And then I'd say the other element is having balls to pull the trigger on strats. And then just a solid base of infantry dynamics. Where you lack is macros in terms of map pressure, and which isn't bad, but it's not as good as the best. And obviously tap map usage and that kind of endurance, stamina style macro play that Isildur Loveness pull off, basically. But what I really, really, really love about our scene is everyone has a style of play. And Loveness and I used to talk about this to great depths. Everyone has like a signature style. And it has different flavors added to their play. And I love it. And I wish we had more. I think we have a good blend of Chaos players right now and Macro players if you go through the list. So we can do this list really easily. You've got Rush, Micro, you've got Rush. Let me just get this right. There's more than this. You've got Rush. No, that's not Rush. It's not Rush. Hang on. I've done this before, though, haven't I? You've got Macro, as in ability to control and command the battlefield. And, like, ability to endurance play. You've got Micro focus. But I don't mean that. I mean, like, Rush, as in, like, it's not about the overall, like, consistency of tactics and reaction speed. It's about the aggression. It's called aggression. That's what we called it, didn't we? We talked about this as a community. We got it sorted in the end. It's like rush/aggression. That's what I want to call it. Rush. It's like an RTS word, isn't it? Rush. Rush/aggression. And then you've got strategy. If you just boil it down to that, micro strategy, rush/aggression. Like Orange Pest. Let's just do this again. His macro has improved massively in Company Heroes 3. He's really ironed out that side of his game. And I'd like to just say he's gotten a lot better. His strategies are pretty good. He's probably pretty fucking strong there. But his strategies aren't as good as they once were, actually. Because he's kind of gotten arrogant because of his early prowess with Company Heroes 3. So although he was hovering around a 9 in ML1, ML2, I've not been impressed by his build order knowledge since that point in time and his pulling off of build orders. I think he's gotten in his own bubble, and I'm not so sure he's always right anymore. Ferrigy, I don't think his macros and micro has been that impressive, or his fucking thingy. But like, it is macro, isn't it? It's been fucking, it's the mind play. And it's the overall pressure he's able to exert overall. I'm using a lot of hand gestures here, and you can't see them. Like, what really impressed me about Ferrigy is his median average, like, Company Heroes 3 tactics were at a decently high level, consistently, all over the map. Like, he was shift commanding mines, but at every available opportunity, just like a young, hungry Loveness would have done 2015-16 era. And it was really impressive. And also his strategies were meta AF, but the timing was excellent. Not much rush aggression. It was just standard. But, like, the way he was playing, the micro was lacking. His reaction speeds weren't great. I'm going to say it. Like, I don't think Ferrigy's micro and reaction speeds, like, let's call that reaction as well. I don't think it was as good as Orange Pest's was, but like his strategy and macro combo just overwhelmed Orange Pest over the series. I felt. I know it was only 2 games, but I just thought he packed more of a punch. Ferrigy did, like, on average. Jibber. He's a bit. This micro's pretty fucking good. His strategy's not terrible, is it? Like, these are all wrong, by the way, these numbers. They're terrible. I'm just thinking out loud and getting the numbers wrong, most likely. Macro for Jibber. Is he that strong? Yeah, he's gotten stronger, hasn't he? But, like, we can't give everybody a 9 for macro. I know I'm going to give Alpern less, but his Russian aggression will be higher, surely. His strategies are pretty fucking good for CoH3, I would say. His micro and reactions pretty fucking good, but his macro is weak, I would say. That's where I would, like, try and class Alpern at the moment. It's his macro that lets him down. And don't forget, I class that as control, macro/control. It's the control playstyle. It's the endurance-based playstyle. And Nagano's way far off the money at the moment. Macro controls like a 6. Micro's... I don't know, 7? Strategy is 7. I don't think he's been that aggressive. Actually, he was in that Orange Pest game I saw. Yeah, the aggression's fine. But yeah, he's really lacking there. And to be honest, I just don't know enough about the others. I can only really rank the top 5 as I see them. Theo and Hulk Smash, we should really try and rank them. I've not seen enough of Kowzak. I don't know how I'd do Kowzak. I haven't finished Jibber yet, though. Strategy. It's fine, isn't it? Jibber's strategies are fine. He just fucks up now and again. Does something a bit mad now and again. For that reason, I'll give him an 8. An 8. There we go. Something like that. But yeah, that's how we used to do those cards, wasn't it? Wow, so Alpern's the best player? Alpern, wake up! What is it, AE? You're the best player. No, surely. We can't have Alpern being the best. No way. Well, on that bombshell, Alpern's the best. There you go. I can't believe it's been proven. Micro reactions. Yeah, his micro's good. His strategies have improved dramatically. And Russian aggression's been good. Preservation's not been great, though. Fucking hell, if we put preservation on here, like, I think his preservation's been terrible. Ferriges was excellent. Alpern's preservation's been awful. Nagano's has been terrible. Jibber's has been lackluster. Orange's Pest has been 7. Then you'd get Ferriges as number 1 seed. You think Orange Pest's main trait is aggression? We can give him another one then. I'm really high on Ferriges right now. I'm really